What an absolute spectacle we witnessed in the Copa del Rey semi-final. Barcelona versus Athletic Club, a clash of titans that had everything a football fan could ever ask for. This wasn't just a match. It was a roller coaster of emotions, a strategic masterclass, and a testament to the sheer passion that defined Spanish football. If you missed it, you missed one of the most enthralling games of the season. And if you watched it, you know exactly what I'm talking about. We're going to break down every key moment, every tactical nuance, and every drop of drama from this unforgettable encounter. From the starting lineups to the final whistle, this game was pure, unadulterated football magic. Let's set the stage. Camp Nou was buzzing, an electric atmosphere pulsating through the stands. On one side, Barcelona, with their philosophy of possession, tiki-taka, and the weight of immense expectation. On the other, Athletic Club, the Lions from Bilbao, renowned for their incredible work rate, physical intensity, and a never-said-I attitude. This matchup is always special because of the history and the contrasting styles. Barcelona wants to dance with the ball, while Athletic wants to turn it into a street fight, and that's exactly the dynamic we saw unfold right from the first minute. The tension was palpable. You could feel that every tackle, every pass, and every decision was going to be crucial. Looking at the starting X's, there were a few surprises but also a clear indication of intent from both managers. Xavi stuck with his trusted 4-3-3, relying on the midfield trio to control the tempo. The front line was a blend of youthful energy and veteran experience, designed to unlock the stubborn Athletic defense. For Athletic, Ernesto Valverde, a man who knows Barcelona inside and out, set his team up to be compact, aggressive, and lethal on the counter. Their high press was immediately evident, not giving Barcelona's defenders a moment's peace. The Williams brothers, Nico and Iñaki, were positioned to use their blistering pace to exploit any space left behind. The tactical battle lines were drawn, and it promised to be a fascinating chess match between two brilliant football minds. The first half kicked off, and boom, Athletic Club came out of the gates like a storm. They weren't there to sit back and admire Barcelona's passing. They were there to disrupt, to harry, and to impose their will on the game. Their pressing was relentless, forcing uncharacteristic errors from the Barcelona battle. You could see the frustration on the faces of the home players. They couldn't find their rhythm. Every time they tried to build from the back, a red and white shirt was there to close them down. It was a tactical masterstroke from Valverde. By cutting off the supply lines to the midfield, they effectively neutralized Barcelona's main strength. It was a statement of intent that said, "We are not afraid of you. We will play this game on our terms." And it didn't take long for that pressure to pay off. A misplaced pass, a quick turnover, and suddenly Athletic were on the attack. The ball was moved swiftly up the pitch, culminating in a thunderous strike that rippled the back of the net. The away section erupted. It was a classic Athletic goal, born from hard work, speed, and clinical finishing. Barcelona were stunned. Camp Nou fell silent. It was a wake-up call, a brutal reminder that against a team like Athletic, even the slightest lapse in concentration can be fatal. For the first 20 minutes, it was all Bilbao. They were winning every second ball, every 50-50 challenge. They looked hungrier, sharper, and more determined. But this is Barcelona we're talking about. You can't keep them down for long. Slowly but surely, they started to weather the storm. The midfield began to get a foothold in the game, stringing together passes and calming things down. The crowd got behind them, their roars of encouragement urging the team forward. You could see the shift in momentum. The initial shock wore off, replaced by a steely resolve. It was time for Barcelona to respond, to show why they're one of the best teams in the world. The ball started moving quicker, the triangles started forming, and the spaces started to open up. It was a fascinating shift in the dynamic of the match. The equalizer, when it came, was a thing of beauty. It was pure Barcelona DNA. A patient build-up, intricate one-touch passing on the edge of the box, and a moment of individual brilliance that unlocked the defense. A perfectly weighted through ball, a clever run, and a cool, composed finish past the onrushing keeper. Camp Nou exploded back into life. The relief was immense, but so was the joy. It was a goal that wasn't just about skill. It was about character. It was about standing up to the bully, taking the punch, and then landing one of your own. The game was back on, level pegging, and the intensity went up another 10-8. The first half ended in a breathless stalemate, setting the stage for an even more dramatic second half. As the second half began, you could feel the game was on a knife's edge. Both teams came out with renewed purpose. Xavi clearly had some strong words for his team at halftime because Barcelona looked far more composed and in control. They dominated possession, pinning Athletic back into their own half. The passing was crisper, the movement was sharper, and they started to create clear-cut chances. The Athletic goalkeeper was forced into a series of spectacular saves, keeping his team in the game almost single-handedly. Ewasa, Waldenayin, Barcelona. Well, it felt like a siege. Barcelona was throwing everything they had at them, but that stubborn Basque defense, led by their heroic keeper, refused to break. Then, just as it seemed Barcelona would inevitably take the lead, the game turned on its head once more. Against the run of play, Athletic launched a lightning-fast counterattack. A long ball over the top, a burst of pace from one of the Williams brothers, and suddenly, they were through on goal. A clinical finish, and silence once again descended upon Camp Nou. It was a sucker punch, a devastating blow that came out of nowhere. You have to give immense credit to Athletic Club. They absorbed so much pressure, they bent, but they didn't break. And when their moment came, they took it with ruthless efficiency. It's what makes them such a dangerous and respected opponent. Their resilience is second to none. Now, trailing for the second time in the match, the real test of Barcelona's character began. With the clock ticking down, the pressure was immense. Every pass was loaded with tension. Every missed chance met with a collective groan from the crowd. The game became stretched, and to end stuff, Barcelona pushed more and more players forward, taking huge risks at the back. Athletic, in turn, looked to hit them on the break again. It was a thrilling, chaotic, and nerve-wracking period of the game. Substitutions were made, fresh legs were introduced, and both managers were frantically shouting instructions from the touchline. This was football at its most raw and dramatic. And then, in the dying minutes of normal time, the moment of magic that everyone was hoping for arrived. A scramble in the box, the ball bouncing around, and a Barcelona player was there to poke it home from close range. Bandamonia. Absolute scenes at Camp Nou. It was a scrappy goal, a testament to sheer persistence and the refusal to give up. The entire stadium erupted in a wave of relief and ecstasy. They had clawed their way back from the brink, not once, but twice. The resilience they showed was incredible. It sent the match into extra time, and everyone knew we were in for another 30 minutes of high-stakes drama. The mental and physical toll on the players was enormous, but the prize was a place in the final. Extra time was a war of attrition. Both sets of players were running on fumes, their legs heavy with fatigue, but the desire was still there. Cramps set in, tackles flew in, and the game became a true test of endurance. Chances were few and far between as both teams were terrified of making that one fatal mistake. It was cagey, it was tense, and it was clear that one moment of brilliance or one costly error would decide the tie. The atmosphere was thick with anticipation. Every fan was on the edge of their seat, living every moment with their team. This is what cup football is all about. The drama, the exhaustion, the hope, and the fear, all rolled into one. Finally, the deadlock was broken. A moment of individual genius from a Barcelona star. Picking up the ball in midfield, he drove forward, evading one challenge, then another, before unleashing an unstoppable shot from outside the box that flew into the top corner. The net bulged, and the stadium went into a frenzy. It was a goal worthy of winning any match, a truly world-class strike that decided this epic sentence. The Athletic players collapsed to the ground in exhaustion and disappointment. They had given absolutely everything, fighting until the very last second. They can hold their heads high as they played their part in an unforgettable contest. But in the end, it was Barcelona's night. What a match. An absolute classic that will be remembered for years to come. Huge respect to Athletic Club for their incredible performance. They pushed Barcelona to the absolute limit and showed immense quality and heart, but you have to applaud Barcelona for their comeback spirit. Twice they went behind, and twice they fought their way back before finding that moment of magic in extra time. It was a victory forged in fire, a testament to their skill, but also to their mental fortitude. This is the kind of win that builds champions. It was more than just a game. It was an epic story of struggle, resilience, and ultimate triumph. What are your thoughts on this incredible match? Let me know down in the comments. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more football analysis. See you next time.